And welcome to Studio 5, the Newsboys, a reality series changing the lives of widows, and Will Smith in the inspirational role of a lifetime. We've got all that for you today, so let's get to the countdown of the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment and get the show started. At number 5.
The hero delivered on the day that he broke a huge record.
Tom Brady's record, throwing his 600th career touchdown pass, takes a backseat to another milestone moment Sunday.
Noah Reeb never imagined he'd come face to face with Tom Brady.
I'm so blessed.
Noah is the boy seen in the stands with the sign, "Tom Brady helped me beat brain cancer." And he's moved to tears when Brady sees the sign, comes over to greet him, and gives him a hat.
Noah's father promised when his son beat brain cancer, they would travel from their home in Utah to see Brady play in person.
That was really sweet. Yeah, obviously tough kid, man, and puts a lot in perspective of what we're doing on the field. In the end, it doesn't mean much compared to what so many people go through.
At number 4.
I remember the Scholastic Book Fairs and Clifford being there and circling the books that I want, and I totally remember Clifford and how big he was.
Going behind the scenes to see what it takes to turn a classic children's book series into a big screen adventure.
It is the size of a hippopotamus. My mum had read the Clifford stories to me when I was a kid, and for the nostalgia, I did have to get my mum to reread it to me.
More time than we both need.
Somebody help him, please!
He's slipping! Your dog just saved my life!
And we now have a release date for Clifford the Big Red Dog. It's November 10th.
It's a family movie. If you have kids who loves the Clifford books, bring them here.
Grown-ups grew up on it, kids grew up on it. Clifford always tries to bring love and friendship into anyone's life.
That begins our countdown and brings us to this week's Sit Down in Studio 5. We caught up with the Newsboys, Michael Tait and Duncan Phillips. These band members have new music, a new tour, and they make an appearance in the highly praised documentary, The Jesus Music. Let's sample their latest sound before we start this Studio 5 conversation.
Who will I be when trouble comes calling for me? Well, I live the way I believe when I'm backed up against the wall.
So the new project is called Stand. And we see that featured in a film that people are raving about, Jesus Music.
That was a blast.
My flesh, what will I do in the moment that everything falls?
We were approached, being involved in a movie that kind of chronicles the start of Christian music, stuff we didn't even know about. It's amazing from the beginning through its birth, its conception, birth, and growth, and where we are today, where we're going in the future. It's pretty amazing.
I kind of didn't realize that CCM industry was really birthed out of the Jesus music culture out of the 60s from Southern California. So I learned a lot watching the film.
But I've seen you here through it all.
How did the single Stand become a part of that?
Well, I think
it kind of nails, what we are as a genre.
Well, I think the song Stand really epitomizes what the industry is.
Yes.
And really where we are here now, 60 years later, kind of making that same line in the sand to say, hey, this is who we are, this is why we stand for what we are.
In a world that's breaking stand.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
And that is the title of this latest project from the Newsboys. How did the song come to you, and what made you think that this project was what we needed now? What happened?
Well, I think sitting around for 18 months, we said, if we don't come out of this pandemic swinging for the fence and beyond,
might as well quit, right?
We might as well quit.
Stand up for the one who gave everything. Stand up because you deserve all of me.
We took our time. We tried to be wise and take our time to write this record. The cool part about it, we had all this time to go in and really hone in on a record, not pop in town for a few days and work on a chorus or I can play a drum part and then hit the road again. We had time to stop, think, rewrite the verse, rewrite the chorus, write the verse again, add to a bridge part, and what about 60 songs and chose 10? Didn't try to be overachievers and do 15 or 20 songs. I wanted every song to count. Stan came along near the end of the project, and we thought, man, because just looking around society, it's like people are so, including me at times. My gosh, James 1:8 talks about double-minded men or women, people, double-minded humans are unstable all their ways. So I thought, you know, we're just being blown to and fro by everything from social media to people's opinions over this part, that part. It's just cray-cray right now. And so we thought, let's talk about what's the foundation of standing? The Word of God's foundation. Where do you stand in comparison to that? Therein lies the message.
If you had to choose, at least for today, each of you, a favorite song today. I know it may be different tomorrow, but today, Duncan, what's your favorite? And tell me the story behind it.
I don't know. Probably one of my favorite ones to play is Ain't It Like Jesus. Ain't it like Jesus? Ain't it like Jesus? It's just a super fun kind of reggae style, which is really fresh for Newsboys.
Yes, it is.
And it just kind of epitomizes like a good father. It's like, isn't it just like him to want the best for me? Ain't it just like Jesus to do the best, want the best in my life? It's just his nature, right?
Yes.
So that is a wonderful, that's kind of probably one of my new faves. What would you choose,
I'm going to choose, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm going to go with Blessings on Blessings. And it helps you acknowledge the fact that every day you wake up, this heart, from what doctors say, beats 100,000 times a day, 35 million times a year, 2.5 billion times, perhaps longer if you live longer, over your lifetime. You don't do that. You don't wind up every morning. You don't put batteries in it. Batteries aren't included because God blesses us every day with breath in our lungs. That's right. Wakes us up, gives us, you know, a life of joy when we pursue Him. It's like, it's amazing when you look around. If you count them, you end up thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I just can't count just one because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of our God.
Stan, the Newsboys' latest music project, is available right now wherever you get your music, and even more exciting, they are touring again.
Still ahead.
I'm Ken Fletcher.
And I'm Shannen Fields, and we're the hosts of Rebuild and Restore.
Taking you behind the scenes of a unique and inspiring reality renovation miniseries.
Rebuild and Restore is a home makeover show where we help widows and their families. Along the way, there's plenty of challenges.
10 minutes, hurry!
The clock is always your worst enemy.
See how it's changing lives, including the life of the host. At number 3, 2 big music headlines.
She Makes It Seem Easy. Adele's new single, Easy on Me, debuts atop the Billboard Hot 100 Singles chart in its first full week of release. The song, the first single off Adele's upcoming album 30, is the singer's 5th number 1.
And my God won't deny me, tell the devil get behind me.
And from Kanye?
Kanye West's album Donda has hit 1 billion streams on Spotify.
At number 2.
Nobody could tell from looking at her.
No.
Most surprising.
It's a fictional story and a racial issue, first explored in this 1929 novel.
So you haven't ever thought to? What? You ever thought of passing? No, why should I?
This week, a new film will put passing into the spotlight again. Based on the 1929 novel by Harlem Renaissance writer Nella Larson, the movie called Passing tells the story of 2 black women, one who actively passes for white, the other who does not.
Passing is being released this Friday.
But I suppose sometimes there is a thing that can't be registered.
With number 3 and number 2 in the record books, we have only one more story to get to in our countdown this week. We'll have it for you in just a little bit. Right now, we're going behind the scenes of a reality miniseries called Rebuild and Restore. It's really part home renovation and all parts inspiration as audiences see the renovation of a widow's home and watch them move through the journey of grief. Co-host Shannen Fields is here to share it all with us, and she actually became a widow herself just as the production got started.
I'm Ken Fletcher.
And I'm Shannen Fields, and we're the hosts of Rebuild and Restore. Ow! Oh my gosh!
Rebuild and Restore is a home makeover show where we help widows and their families.
How did this series get started, and how did you get involved?
Oh goodness, so I met my co-host Ken Fletcher at a film festival here in Atlanta.
Along the way, there's plenty of challenges.
10 minutes, hurry!
The clock is always your worst enemy.
He had this creative thought to do a reality show to help widows, and asked that if I would consider co-hosting. And of course, I'm like, I already love to uplift women, and this would be like the perfect thing for me to do.
And the payoff of each show
is the big reveal. Did you have a good day?
Yes!
Well, it's getting better.
So you're in the process of making Rebuild and Restore, and you guys are doing home renovations for widows. What happens to you?
During the first episode that we were filming, which is our pilot episode, my husband was having some problems with his shoulder and different things, and he's a football coach. He lifted weights and all the things, so we didn't think anything about it. And by the time we were filming the second episode, he had been diagnosed with ALS, which is also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, because during the third episode he passed away. But he was the picture of strength, and he uplifted so many people. I've lost count, and I had never dreamed in a million years that when I was cast to help widows that I was going to become a widow.
What makes you continue to work on the series following?
You know, I see things now from a different point of view. I went into this thinking I was going to help heal the widow, and instead now we help each other heal forward. There's a lot of young people with young kids. There's so many out there. So I feel like we're stronger together and that we heal forward together now.
Tell me about some of the women you meet in this series, or we get to meet.
Oh my goodness, they're so amazing. They're all different, all unique. They all have different lives, different journeys, but we have formed a sisterhood that it's really amazing. This is you're doing life with them. And so that's what we do. We do life together. We're here for each other. We don't see each other every day, but we have our phone number. You can call. We can call each other at any time.
And I'm imagining that it's not just a renovation of home, but a renovation of heart that happens during this process as well.
That's exactly right. So my co-host Ken Fletcher comes in with the team and just rebuilds something in their home, and I come in with my partner from Widow Strong, Michelle Presky, and we kind of restore the heart.
What's the hope for the series once people begin watching it and seeing it? What's your hope?
Yeah, so we know that people watch it, they're going to laugh, they're going to cry, but we don't want them to just stop there and cut the TV off. We want them to be inspired to go help another widow, to start a group or something in their community, because I'm telling you, a widow's not gonna say, hey, can you come cut my grass? But if you see that they need their grass cut, go cut their grass. Don't even ask. Go take them a meal. So we want to inspire people to just to help a widow in their community.
Rebuild and Restore is streaming now on the PureFlix platform. By the way, if Shannen Fields looks familiar to you, you are not mistaken. The series co-host is also an actress, and she starred in films like Facing the Giants, My Brother's Keeper, and Order of Rights. Time now to share a story in pictures, and this week's Studio 5 snapshot may look a bit familiar. Pulled from the pages of this week's countdown.
These photographs are an even closer look at passing. It's the story of two black women in the 1920s. One has lighter skin and is passing as white in a deeply segregated time in our country's history. The film is based on the 1929 novel of the same name, and it was written by Nella Larson. Bringing Larson's book to the big screen dives deep into the issues of race and identity through complicated human characters. We're sharing images here in this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Just moments away.
I got these two great tennis players. All we need is a club. Everything to go from prodigy to pro.
Will Smith is King Richard, and we have an intimate look at his performance as the father of tennis greats Venus and Serena Williams.
Venus and Serena gonna shake up this world.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We have a highly anticipated film to share. It's an American biographical drama following the life of Richard Williams, the father and coach of famed tennis players Venus and Serena Williams. It stars Will Smith in the title role. Here's your Studio 5 first look at King Richard.
I got these two great tennis players. All we need is a club. Everything to go from prodigy to pro. Raise your hand, Serena. Venus Williams. What you think?
Nobody's taking that bet. Tennis takes expert instruction. It takes families with unlimited financial resources. It's like asking somebody to believe that you got the next two Mozarts in your house.
Venus and Serena gonna shake up this world. Go to the sky. Yeah, that's it. There you go.
They're not going to Wimbledon like this. Not with you and me on those raggedy courts.
We just got to stick to the plan. We got champions in the other room. You taught them all this? Richard, I'm impressed. I think you might just have the next Michael Jordan. Oh, no, brother man. I got me the next two.
Let me ask you about something. What do you want out of this? I know what your dad wants, but what about you?
Well, I want to win the Wimbledon as many times as anyone's ever won it.
You think you can do that? Every American player got good following this path.
We're gonna do this a different way.
You pulled him out of juniors. Now you pull him out of practice. You do it constantly.
I'm trying to look out for my kids.
You're looking out for yourself.
This is their life. You gotta let them decide.
Venus Williams, what you want?
Let's show all of those people that I can handle what's coming.
Feels so good to be alive. It feels so good.
She's playing the best player on the planet. She can't beat her.
But what if she do?
Ain't nobody knocking if they try. This is hustle personified. Look how we've been fighting to stay alive.
Remember who you are, remember where you came from.
I have never been more proud in my whole life. You gonna show them how dangerous you are?
King Richard is in theaters November 19th. It's one of the films I just can't wait to see. With that, well, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the top 5 headlines in uplifting entertainment. Here's a quick look at what's finishing on top this week.
At number 1.
We need to honor your hometown and make that an annual celebration.
Where do I begin when I talk about my hometown? It's so much. It's a mix of traditions and lineages.
I'm from Monticello, Georgia, home of the Piedmont Academy Cougars and the best place to grow up in the whole world.
No,
I love you, but the best place to grow up in the whole world was Yukon, Oklahoma.
These celebrities are among the many campaigning for us all to honor our hometowns.
In my Tennessee mountain home, life is as peaceful as a baby's sigh.
Filmmaker Ken Burns and singer and songwriter Marty Stewart are leading the effort they call an unprecedented campaign to recognize every American city, noting it's a nonpartisan effort with a simple but powerful purpose to remind all of us that the experience and values we have in common are far greater and more important than the issues that divide us.
I didn't really have a hometown as much as I had a home street in the South Bronx section of New York City.
It's only fitting General Colin Powell honored his hometown in the campaign before his passing a little more than a week ago.
I grew up learning what it's like to be with other people, to understand that this is America, and all these immigrant nations make us a great country.
Still to come.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, you look great.
A tune from Tony Bennett's record-making final studio recording.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls man, come.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes too, and so much more. Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Welcome back to Studio 5. It is time now for this week's Studio 5 soundtrack, and it's courtesy of Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. Take a listen and hear why I've Got You Under My Skin is what's playing in my ear.
I've said to myself, this affair never will go so well.
But why should I try to resist when, darling, I know so well I've got you under my skin.
On that musical note, we are just about at the end of this week's show, so this would be a good time to look ahead to see what we're working on for you come next week.
Meet the Eternals.
Cersei, she has the power to manipulate matter, and she's had a long-running on-off relationship with Icarus.
Icarus is the loyal soldier.
Fastest can assemble anything out of any kind of technology.
Athena, she's the goddess of war. She can manifest different weapons.
Gilgamesh, he's a protector. His specialty is a strong punch.
This is Makari. None of us have seen her for centuries.
Sprite can create illusions.
I would say Kingo is a little self-involved.
Droog, he's mind control. He stands up for what he believes in.
And then there is Ajax. She's kind of the leader of the Eternals.
We're taking you inside the Marvel Universe for this next big release.
We hope you'll join us for that story and so much more come next week. Before we say goodbye, we've got a final question and a final answer from the Newsboys, Michael Tait and Duncan Phillips.
What lesson did you take out of the pandemic?
I'm always afraid to pray for patience because God will bless you with that.
Yeah.
But I learned to just stop, smell the roses.
Yeah.
As you breathe.
Yeah.
And look at the glass of water as it is half full, not half empty. And take time to appreciate. There's more out there. There's more to life than all the hustle and bustle and all the running around and all the busyness. The world had to stop. Everybody in unison, in chorus, had to stop And I think we all learned that taking time and just, focusing on what's important, what's eternal matters the most.
A great lesson. Thank you, Michael and Duncan, for that wisdom. It is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.